The appearance of BERKUT in the sky at international air shows caused a storm of delight among visitors. After that, all the accessories associated with this aircraft were literally swept away on the souvenir counters. So what's the deal? Why does Su-47 attract so much public attention? The fact is that this aircraft, painted absolutely black, had completely unusual external shapes. For people, they seemed very strange because before they saw only ordinary planes. The appearance in the sky of BERKUT could be compared with the vision of a UFO. Even aviation experts who had known about the existence of the Su-47 could not restrain their curiosity and watched with interest the flight of this miracle of aviation technology. What can we say about ordinary visitors of the air show? People who did not know about the existence of the Su-47 before were very struck by its appearance and gave the aircraft several nicknames: Devil, Slingshot, and other no less exotic names. At the International Aerospace Exhibition in 1999, the aircraft was presented under the designation S-37. At first glance, this looks strange. Why not Su-37? It was created at the Sukhoi Design Bureau, where all aircraft are designated by the Su index. I will explain. The Su index is assigned by aircraft that entered service with the Air Force. For example, Su-7, Su-24, Su-27. In 2001, the aircraft was renamed the Su-47 BERKUT, despite the fact that the machine was built in one copy and is still experimental. Su-47 has a completely unusual design. The wing is located between the front and tail horizontal plumage. The wing tips point forward, not backward. Aircraft designers call this a reverse-swept wing, but why did the designers make such an unusual wing? Having reached a speed of 807 miles per hour, a strong air current worsened the control of the aircraft. A number of experiments have shown that in order to reduce the resistance to airflow, it is necessary to change the design of the wing. This will allow better control of the aircraft at supersonic speeds. This is how the swept wing appeared. The idea of using a reverse-swept wing raised a number of questions. The tests carried out showed that it is strongly deformed at high angles of attack. It was decided to strengthen the wing structure, which subsequently increased the weight of the aircraft. This was unacceptable, as much attention is paid to weight reduction in the aircraft industry. Therefore, it was decided to abandon the reverse-swept wing. For some time, it was believed that the main property of the aircraft is speed. But air battles in the Vietnam War showed that in addition to high speed, maneuverability is also needed. The problem was that aircraft with a conventional swept wing, due to the stall of the airflow at high angles of attack, lost stability and fell. Aircraft designers began to develop highly maneuverable fighters. And then again, they remembered the reverse-swept wing, which did not have the above disadvantages. By this time, new materials had appeared in the aircraft industry, with the help of which it was possible to create a wing of the required rigidity and not heavier than usual. Grumman X-29 is the first aircraft of a new generation with a reverse-swept wing. It was created in the USA as an experimental aircraft to obtain information about the behavior of the new wing in the air. The X-29 made its first flight in 1984, but never became the prototype of any combat aircraft. 30 years later, the Su-47 BERKUT made its first flight. Unlike the X-29, the Soviet-Russian prototype was created as a promising combat vehicle. The aircraft has large dimensions and two powerful engines. Equipped with several types of missiles to destroy air and ground targets. The developers used elements of stealth technology. The fighter is covered with radio-absorbing materials. Armament can be placed inside the fuselage and on underwing pylons. Electronic equipment allows you to detect targets at long range and control the 360-degree view. The Su-47 has two D-30 F6 turbojet engines, which are also installed on MiG-31 Foxhound fighter interceptors. Later, they wanted to install engines with thrust vector control on the BERKUT. This type of power plant allows you to direct the jet stream in any direction. All this provides the aircraft with the ability to fly in super maneuverability modes. The Su-47 was and remains a secret development. Especially for the aircraft created a new engine and weapons. New technologies of composite materials were tested at BERKUT. They were also involved in the program to create a project for the Su-57 fighter. However, it cannot be said that BERKUT used its resources. For sure, it will continue to be a platform for testing the achievements of the military-industrial complex. Su-47 was to become the most advanced fighter in the Soviet Union and then in Russia. But economic difficulties negatively affected its development as a combat aircraft. In total, one prototype was built and the project was closed. At present, the aircraft is a unique example of aviation equipment at exhibitions. It is possible that if the USSR existed, the Su-47 BERKUT would have been put into service and considered one of the best fighters in the world of serial production.